Hello guys, how are you? My name is Igor and let's continue our reflections about the youth development process. So the second part I talked about the first window of transition, frustrations, suicide. So for now, as you can see here, we are going to talk about overcome. So overcome hard times, overcome tough days, overcome frustrations, overcome emotions. So the key point is control and overcome your emotions. That's the big challenge. You can see here, it's an official research. I will show you ahead. And the question right here is very simple. What is the most important thing for success in life? Talent or effort? So, as you can see here, neither of these is the answer. No lucky, no goals, no hard work, no IQ, no. Remember the suicide problems? The suicide problems we talked about before? So the answer, according to the research, is a small word. The word is grit. Grit, that's the word. It means, according to the doctor in charge of the study, it means the ability to keep going when everybody already gave up. So that's the meaning. And the ability to, as soon as possible, overcome the frustrations and keep moving forward. So you can see here, right here, I selected 2 studies to show you, to share with you, official studies about grit. And the main name about grit, in terms of studies, is Dr. Angela Duckworth, or Angela, something, sorry, this surname is too difficult for me, but Dr. Angela, or something like this. So, if you reflect on the details, you can figure it out that first, we have frustrations. Secondly, we have emotions, limbic system. And then we have the reaction. So we react with the limbic system, the amygdala, or we react with our prefrontal cortex. I mean, do we react with emotion and kick the can down the road, or do we react with reason and common sense? So, and this works for everybody. This works for everybody, not only athletes, not only soccer players, everyone. So let's pay attention to these details here. Look at this next slide here. We can see that very likely, according to the data, girls develop their brain sooner than boys. So it's important detail here. Girls develop their brain sooner than boys. So remember, suicide rates are insane. We saw this before. And they are crazy, among teenagers here in the United States. But even worse for boys. For boys are even worse. And then official studies show us that boys need more time to get their brain developed. So studies shows that. So can you see the link, the connection, the age, and the speed of brain development? So according to studies, in general, human beings will get their brain 100% done, not before 25 years old. At some point, for some reason, girls are ahead in terms of brand development process. So the girls, they do it faster. They do it faster. Now here, right here, we have the second window of transition. Performance starts to pop up, and it's narrowing more and more from the players, and they start to wonder every single day, what does the club think about me? Do they count on me? Will I have any opportunity? Am I important for the club? So what happens is, if you start to have a lot of fear, put my mind in player's mind, start to have a lot of fear, and then a lot of questions, and then anxiety, and then, usually that's the pathway. Fear, questions, anxiety, and because of that, cortisol. So as human beings, we have 4 basic emotions: glad, mad, sad, and fear. If you don't control them, they will control you and your actions and your reactions. So at this moment, if the club don't make it clear that the player will have a chance, the player is important, many players start to decrease performance right here. It's unfortunately that's what happened. So they just start go down the hill. So if the player don't see a pathway opportunity, dopamine, pleasure, goes away. Serotonin, happiness, goes away. Oxytocin, care and love, teamwork, synergy, goes away. And cortisol, what you don't need too much, gets bigger and bigger. It's a bad cycle. It's a very negative cycle that leads to bad nights of sleep, that leads to bad diets, and finally leads to an injury. So maybe you can get sick. So at the second window of transition, if you as a young player don't see a pathway down the road, you find a pathway down the hill. And as a club, you prematurely lose your talents right here at average 17 years old. So many players here get off the bus. So let's take a look in here. Yeah. There are 2 shipping moments right here. Spot A and spot B. No, you have A and B here. So spot A. Spot A is what I want to say here. Some clubs produce to sell, and they rely on their team to sign experienced players. So the new talents have a tough and hard time to get a chance in the first team. Usually, the new talents leave without many opportunities. Many don't even play for the pros. No. So, in relation to that, you have the spot B. The new talents are forged to play for the first team. The club signs according to the gaps. And the academy couldn't fill the gap, and then they sign. Only after a couple seasons they leave, so they play more in the club, the spot B. So if you are in the bottleneck, there is a management concept called just in time. And in my opinion, it works here in the bottleneck very well. Just in time, in my opinion, my reflection, works very well here. So depending on who, which age and position the club signs, this will close the door for new talents. So it's important to make sure that the new talents that are coming up arrive just in time. So as an academy director and head coach, it's important to provide a spot for the new talents. You know, they need space, time and opportunity to perform and get confidence. So that's my reflection right here. Next slide. Besides, you know, all the issues that a good or bad manager may influence here, in the last step, the players have the outside factors, such as family, you know, for some players, even young players, wife, friends, you know, nightclubs, parties, social relationships, discipline to sleep, discipline to eat, you know. So the bottleneck here is ruthless. And many players, you know, many dreams die right here, unfortunately. So next slide, right here, yeah, here. I believe it's important to understand the difference between academy director and sport director. So academy director controls the shop floor, you know, who is doing what, where, when, how, and why. But the sport director, besides many other issues inside the club, will make decisions that will improve or narrowing the bottleneck. So he has a big key in his hands, the sport director. So it's my reflection for this comparison right here. Next slide, we can see the management teamwork. So this next slide you can see the management teamwork. Academy director plus sport director plus head coach working as a team to make sure the third window of transition doesn't damage players in progress. And all the money invested in these young players in years and years brings something in return. You know, some positive financial feedback. So that's my opinion about this. That's my reflection I would like to share with you guys. And thank you so much. Any questions, send emails. We have the emails. And again, thank you. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye bye.